The lie you keep telling yourself you're not lazy, but you've probably called yourself that a lot. You've blamed laziness for missed deadlines, broken routines, for watching Netflix instead of writing that novel or skipping the gym again. But let's be honest for a second. If you were really lazy, would you even be here watching a video about how to stop being lazy? Exactly. You're not lazy. You're just doing it wrong. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why your brain resists effort, why your energy disappears at the worst times, and how to work with your psychology instead of against it. You'll stop fighting yourself and start moving forward. Because here's the truth no one told you. Laziness isn't a character flaw. It's a symptom. A symptom of broken systems, misaligned goals, emotional friction, and yes, bad strategy. Let's fix that. Chapter 1. You're not unmotivated. You're unclear. Have you ever opened your laptop, stared at a blank screen, and felt your brain suddenly freeze? You had time, you had a plan, and somehow, you still did nothing. That's not laziness, that's ambiguity. The human brain hates unclear instructions. When you tell yourself, I need to be productive, your mind responds with, cool, but what does that actually mean? Your brain doesn't follow vague ideas. It follows clarity, urgency, and simplicity. That's why you can binge an entire season of a show without thinking twice, but can't start that one task that's been haunting you for weeks. Because that task is foggy, it's heavy, it's undefined. Once you realize this, everything changes. Productivity isn't about trying harder. It's about removing friction, and nothing creates more friction than a goal without a path. You're not lazy, you just haven't made the path visible. Chapter 2. The Energy Trap. Why you're exhausted before you start. Let's talk about energy, because motivation is not your fuel, energy is. Most people wait to feel like it before they do something. But that's like saying, I'll start rowing when the boat moves. The boat won't move until you row. The truth? You don't get energy before you start. You generate energy by starting. This is called activation energy. The hardest part of doing anything is just the beginning. That's the friction zone. The good news is it doesn't last long. The moment you move, even a little, your brain shifts. Dopamine kicks in. The engine turns over. Suddenly, you're doing the thing you couldn't even begin 5 minutes ago. The lazy feeling? That's just your brain trying to conserve energy. It's not evil. It's not weak. It's ancient biology. Your brain evolved to protect you from unnecessary effort. But the modern world? It rewards effort like never before. So don't wait to feel like it. Start, and the feeling will follow. Chapter 3. Attention is the real battlefield. We don't live in a time crisis. We live in an attention crisis. You get 24 hours a day, just like Einstein, Beyoncé, and every billionaire on Earth. But you don't get the same attention span. Why? Because your attention is under attack. Every ping, every swipe, every scroll. Tiny thefts. You're not lazy. You're being constantly interrupted. You're trying to build a cathedral during an earthquake. And here's what's worse. Every time your attention breaks, it takes 23 minutes, on average, to get back to deep focus. Now, do the math. If your phone buzzes 3 times in an hour, you've already lost the whole hour. Want to stop feeling lazy? Start defending your attention like it's your most precious resource. Because it is. Chapter 4. The Myth of Willpower and What Actually Works. You've been told you just need more willpower, that you need to be stronger, more disciplined, more grind set. But here's a secret. Willpower is a terrible strategy. It's fragile. It's finite. It runs out the same way your phone battery does. Smart people don't rely on willpower. They rely on design. They build environments that make the right thing easier. They remove temptations. They create tiny routines that become automatic. You don't need to be stronger. You need to be smarter. Why leave the cookies on the counter if you're trying to eat healthy? Why keep TikTok on your phone if it always steals your evenings? Why fight battles you can just avoid? Lazy isn't a personality trait. It's a signal your current system isn't working. Change the system, not your identity. Chapter 5. Procrastination, emotion, not logic. Here's the big lie of procrastination. I'm just putting it off because I don't feel like it. But procrastination isn't about laziness or even time management. It's about emotional management. You delay tasks not because they're hard, but because they feel bad. They trigger fear, shame, insecurity, or boredom. That's why you avoid writing the email but have no problem organizing your desk. The desk doesn't make you feel anything. If you want to beat procrastination, stop asking, how can I force myself to do this? Start asking, what emotion am I avoiding here? Because once you bring the emotion into the light, it loses power. You're not lazy, you're emotionally overwhelmed. Learn to soothe the emotion and the action becomes easy. Chapter 6. Morning. You versus evening. There are two versions of you. Morning. You is inspired, hopeful, ambitious. Evening you? Tired. Vulnerable to every distraction. Morning you says, we're going to read tonight. Evening you says, just one episode. Morning you wants the dream life. Evening you wants the dopamine hit. The key to consistency? Morning. You has to outsmart evening you. Make decisions early. Lay out your gym clothes. Write the to-do list the night before. Hide the distractions before they can tempt you. You don't need a better version of yourself. You need a better plan for your worst self. Chapter 7. The art of frictionless starts. Still think you're lazy? Try this. Make the first step ridiculously easy. Not work out for 45 minutes. Just put on your shoes. Not write a chapter. Just open the doc and write one sentence. Because action creates momentum, and momentum kills resistance. Frictionless starts don't just help you do more. They help you become someone who does more. And over time, that identity shift is what kills laziness for good. Chapter 8. Why passion comes after effort. You've probably said it before. If I was passionate about something, I'd be more productive. But that's backward. Passion doesn't cause action. Action creates passion. When you start seeing progress, your brain releases dopamine. That dopamine reinforces behavior. You start to enjoy the process because you're no longer failing at it. Progress makes it personal. Passion follows. So stop waiting to feel inspired. Start badly, start small, start anyway, and the fire will come. Chapter 9. The laziness equation. Let's break this down. What you call laziness is usually one of four things. You're unclear. You're overwhelmed. You're emotionally blocked. Or your environment is working against you. Fix those and laziness disappears. This isn't about being perfect. It's about building systems that let you win even when you feel off. Because consistency isn't about intensity. It's about removing resistance over and over again. Chapter 10. Final truth. You're not broken. Let me say this again just in case it hasn't sunk in. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're trying to use a brain built for survival in a world that rewards creativity, discipline, and self-direction. That's a hard upgrade, but it's one you're capable of. Start designing your life like someone who isn't lazy, because when you stop believing that lie, your behavior starts to change. And that's where everything begins. How true. Today, not someday. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more time. You need a better system. The best moment to start fixing it? Not someday, not next week. Today, start small, stay consistent. Redefine who you are because you're not lazy. You were just doing it wrong. Now, you know better.